Hello, I'm Ellen Goldberg, and I welcome you to a tarot moment from the School of Oracles. In this segment, we're going to take an overview of the nines of each of the suits of the minor arcana. The nines belong to the sphere of Yesod, and Yesod returns us to the middle pillar on the tree of life, and it is really in some way the ending of the tree of life, because our earth and the tens, they're the fruit. But the nines are a culmination. And so each of these will be in some way a culmination of their suit. The tens will be too, but in another way. Take a look at the Nine of Wands, the Lord of great strength. It is moon in Sagittarius. The moon is full of change. Sagittarius is full of hope. Put them together and we see that there is a buoyancy and expectancy. This kind of strength comes from an inner feeling. We know that the man has been through a lot. He has a bandage and he's vigilant. But it reminds me very much of when Nietzsche said, "That which does not kill me makes me stronger." There is tremendous strength here and preparedness. The wands would like to give you the energy to be prepared and to be able to succeed and live through just about anything, and with goodwill. When you see this card on your higher polarity, there will be recovery from whatever you've gone through, whether it be illness or a difficult situation. There is success, and even if there is opposition, there is energy and strength to meet it, and always preparedness, watchfulness, but with goodwill. On the lower polarity, there is no recovery at this time. There is not enough strength to meet the situation. In the Nine of Cups, this card has sometimes been called the wish card. It's the card, its name is the Lord of Material Happiness. Its astrological attribution is Jupiter in Pisces. What a beautiful combination. It usually gives depth of feeling and profoundness of soul. Because it was sometimes called the wish card, because Jupiter in Pisces is like the spirit of Christmas. And so there's an enormous feeling of goodwill, and oftentimes people who get this card are going to have whatever they're wishing for right at that moment come true. But there's also a contentment. And it's called material happiness because it has to do with knowing where your happiness really lies. Notice that the cups are above his head, and that means that they are in the spiritual realm. That's where his real treasure is. This fellow is rather corpulent. The moon, remember, in the moon card is called the corporeal intelligence, so it does have to do with the body. And of course, there is Jupiter here. This is a jovial Santa Claus kind of card, and the person reflects that. He's dressed all in white to show that he is in a purified state, and the red hat on the top of his head at the crown chakra shows that the desire nature has been raised to the highest point, to the highest level. On the upper polarity, this card is the spirit of Christmas and goodwill towards all. There's benevolence. It's knowing where your happiness really lies, kindness and wishes coming true. On the lower polarity, it's complacency, swollen and smug, just feeling more elite and missing the whole point of the real generosity of the universe. In the Nine of Swords, we see the dark night of the soul taking place. The name of this card is the Lord of Despair and Cruelty, and it is astrologically associated with the planet Mars in the sign of Gemini. Mars is a warrior, and Gemini is the mental suit. Well, here the war of Mars is let loose within your own mind, and you can cut yourself to shreds with it. The person is a pure soul. They've dressed them in white. And they're shutting out all the exterior senses to turn inwards and find comfort from their own source. It's hard to believe that this card actually has an upper polarity, but it does. Everyone goes through the dark night of the soul, not just once, but cyclically, because we can learn from it. There is a torment, there is an agony of mind in this card, but on the higher polarity, we learn from it. On the lower polarity, we just go round and round and round with it. On the higher polarity, we learn to turn inward for comfort, to seek the spiritual source. On the lower polarity, there is no comfort. It's the cathedral of the damned. It's the mind cutting itself up and leaving itself in pieces. Know and notice that her comforter is filled with symbols of astrology, spirituality. There is comfort close at hand if you will turn inside. The last of the nines, one of the great summations of the Pentacles, is the Lord of Gain, the Lord of material gain. And we see Mother Nature at home in her garden because this is Venus in Virgo. Now, some would say, exoterically, that Venus is not well placed in Virgo because Virgo is so analytical. But esoterically, Venus in Virgo is the goddess providing for all of her children because Venus is love and Virgo is the harvest. And here nothing is missing. We see the feminine principle and the masculine principle is here as well. Notice the falcon that she is holding. Horus was the falcon-headed god in Egypt, and I think that this is a kind of mystical marriage of the feminine and masculine principles. All of the wealth here is natural and growing on trees. When this card is in its higher polarity, it's gain. It's having everything that you need. It's contentment. It's taking care of nature and nature's creatures. On the lower polarity, then it could be avarice. It could even be that someone has so much avarice that they steal in some way. Either the querent may be tempted to steal or someone is stealing from them. But the idea of what is valuable has run amok. On behalf of the School of Oracles, this is Ellen saying, hope to see you soon.